It's kind of funny how marketing budgets are always tight. Whether we're talking tens of thousands or tens of millions, it's always tight. It's always, oh yeah, it's a bit too stretched. However, I'd like to start this talk with a personal experience where having a too big marketing budget didn't serve the product and the brand I was working for. Back in 2015, I joined Infinity with my now co-founder Roger. And Infinity is Nissan's premium brand, for those who don't know. And the company was known for two things. First, having a very innovative team, very close to the brand. And the second is a very innovative lineup with iconic models that were recognizable in the street, especially on the US roads. Now, you have to understand that for an automotive brand, the car is the best marketing asset itself. Why? Because it's already seen to all the customers on the street every time. We joined Infinity at a very critical time where they wanted to penetrate the European market with a model. It was called the Q30. I can still remember the day of the unveil by the VP, huge mass, drums rolling, and they presented us this model. And everyone was like, this model is a bit less iconic than the other ones. It resembles to a lot of models we have already on the market. And especially, one of the models was exactly identical. That was called the Mazda 3. And I can remember, Roger and myself looked at each other a bit like at a baby shower party where you have to fake a little bit like the surprise and say, hey, yeah, that looks amazing. But actually, it was not that amazing. And why is this important is that because the brand was known for having these iconic models, it was now the role of the marketing team to share the core values of the brand that wanted to be disruptive and innovative. And that had kind of a negative impact on it, because despite Infinity being a very innovative company, very close to the brand, they were a bit, sorry. Despite all of that, we had a huge marketing budget to spread this model all over Europe. And that was a big problem. Why? Because instead of getting the creativity fueled from the inside of the company, we outsourced this creativity to big name agencies. So we hired the top notch of European and global agencies and told them, hey, now we have a huge pressure because the model is not recognized to be innovative enough on Europe, and you have to do a great job. And all this money, rather than being spent into catching up with the boldness, was instead invested in KPIs, commitment, meetings, hierarchical decisions. And in the end, we wanted to have a campaign that was very bold, innovative, and the result was the following. If it works.
Q30, born to challenge.
So this resembles like any other car ad or Calvin Klein perfume you could see. And the big problem is that having a huge marketing budget just outsourced the responsibility of truly living the brand. Now, as a result, unfortunately, this baby that was born to challenge didn't last long, as Infinity in this January said to the press that they were leaving the European market by end of this year. Now, that was not only a trigger for Roger and myself to quit the company and actually started our own thing that I will come to in a second, but also thinking that money is not everything. And there is one important point, is that brain can beat money. And this is how 2 years ago we came to Zurich with the idea of Gowago, very simple idea, that together with our third co-founder Ivan over there, we came here and we said we want to make car buying as easy as booking a hotel room. Easy, transparent, comfortable. And on this exact same floor a year and a half ago, we signed our first investment with Tamedia, entered the Tamedia family, and today we are still at the startup stage. Maybe that's why some of you have not heard about us, and I'm glad that it's over now. So what about MacGyver in all of this? Well, MacGyver, for those who don't know, in the 80s, was a TV show where this spy had his mind as the ultimate weapon. He never used actually guns. He always used pens and paper clips to get out of his of very difficult situations and really relied on his scientific knowledge and approach. Now, this guy is a true inspiration for all startups. Why? Because none of us have resources and we all have the same challenge, that is actually to market ourselves, especially us that we are playing in the B2C market. Now, I could have done the talk about all the times we as a startup used pen and paper clips to actually get some users, but I wanted to emphasize on one particular MacGyver episode that happened earlier this year, where we delivered an outstanding results with very, very little resources. Now, the plot is the following. Tamedia did not only invest in us with money, they also gave an opportunity to access one massive weapon of awareness, which is the Tamedia network. Access to the 20 minutes. Magical. That meant a national campaign of awareness for our startup. That was truly a beauty, a huge opportunity. However, that came with a huge challenge, because on the Tamedia network, you have a standard. You don't want to appear cheap, because, I mean, all the super production that are there are crazy. And until now, our experience with video production was actually only shot in an iPhone. Sorry, Ruch. This is archive, yeah. This was actually our experience with iPhone production. Oh no, it doesn't want to.
Speaking of great stuff, I didn't know electrical.
Sorry, mate. Oh. So the challenge was, in the end, we have 1 month, 10,000 francs to produce one display and video campaign for 20 minutes. So how do we do that? Well, exactly the same way we approach our startup and how you start. You go to FFF, Friends, Family and Fools. You open your network and you ask around, can you please help me? What we sold them was something, it's like the FR here. What we sold them was a unique opportunity for some people as well to be exposed on the Tamedia network. And that represented a huge reward for these people. And on top, we sold them that they will contribute to the future of the company, that they will have total freedom to execute because I have no idea what I'm doing. And the third thing, that we will have a lot of fun because this is part of the culture of our company. So before the shooting, only 2 things were fixed. The date of the studio renting, that was quite good. Sorry, I forgot to say something. For 10,000 francs, I don't know if you're aware of production cost, but the 10,000 is already the rental of a studio for 1 day. And for this amount of money, and with my little speech about future freedom and fun, I managed to get a director, a full shooting crew, the studio, actors, accessories, and costumes. So before the shooting, we had all of this. I was apparently the producer that is supposed to have all of this organized. Okay. We come to the studio and we lock ourselves up for 12 hours with everyone committed to the blood to deliver something. Why? Because the reward was tangible. They could see that their work will be shown to a huge amount of population thanks to the 20 minutes. And what we delivered there was completely outstanding. That was amazing. Everyone started to MacGyver. Everyone took responsibility. And the creativity boiling from there was truly magical. And that allowed us, in the end, to develop 4 mini clips, 2 more than planned. So we actually did 2 right on the spot without scenarios. And for the amount of money that we said, and the promise of fun, freedom, and the contribution to the future of the company were delivered. So this is an example of one of the video. Twice? 3 times? So for cost reasons, I played in the ad as well. That was not planned, but I did it. Now, the results for a startup were actually quite amazing. The campaign generated 13 million impressions, 500,000 views, 60,000 visits, and we decreased by 5 our cost per acquisition for customers on the platform on non-branded terms. This was truly amazing, but the learnings of this were even bigger. And this is what I would like to give you as a takeaway. Because we are thinking like, oh yeah, but how do you market yourself with a cheap budget? Well, you kind of understand that to MacGyver is not really an approach. It's not even a choice. Asking himself, I'm sure he would have liked to have some TNT to escape sometimes, so just paperclip and a pen. And for us, it's the same. We would have preferred to have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe to deliver this campaign. However, not having any budget has put the responsibility on us and on all the team to deliver and commit to reach that tangible reward. The first thing is limited resources and time lead to creativity. One of the perfect examples is one of the famous events here also in Tamedia, hackathons. Hackathons are exactly based on this principle. The second one is that don't trust big names, but trust big ideas. I just read this morning that Procter & Gamble, which is one of the biggest spenders in advertising in the world, decided that it would remove all the global contract agencies because it wants to fuel creativity from the inside. So I read that after the talk. I inspired them, that's good. And the third one is that you need to empower your team with a great vision so they can execute with passion. 2 years ago, Roger and myself learned that the brain could beat money. And now I would say that the brain combined to the heart makes anything become possible. Thank you very much.